got disconnected there.
Yeah, I think you had also started recording. Okay.
This one only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was discussing about the customization. So here,
Rajesh, if you don't mind, actually, could you just start from the previous slide? I'm not sure I got too many takeaways from this particular slide. I know
this
it's
one.
some linked with the kubectl, and no, not this one. The next one. Yeah, this one. Can you just run through this? What are the key takeaways here?
Okay, yeah, I was discussing about the prerequisite of the understanding the Argo CD. So multiple tools along with this one tool which is called Kustomize tool. So
Okay.
it's a tool actually which is
Mhm.
you get it through Kubernetes. So it's one of the tool. It's good to know about this tool to easy use of Argo CD deployment, app deployment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said it's template free.
Yeah, it's a template free. So this is a so in Helm you have a templates.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this Helm. You have a templates, but here it's a template free. So how
Okay.
it works? So I wanted to show you.
Okay.
So
So this
can you?
customize deploys Argo CD, or it helps deploy application on Argo CD, or application through Argo CD rather.
Okay, so here understand that Argo CD is one of the tool which read the declarative files. I have not gone into the Argo CD right now, but basically any tools I mean basically in Argo CD you can use any tools which is declarative in nature. For example, YAML is a declarative in nature. Helm file is also declarative in nature. Customize is also declarative in nature. So it can read any file as such and get the input to deploy the applications.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll come back to that Argo CD because we have not started. I'm just giving you the intro of the ecosystems of it. So it's good to know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now Kustomize is a standalone tool. Why we use it? Because we want to, deploy the application in Kubernetes, but don't want to use template. Okay, and it this tool traverses a Kubernetes manifest to add and remove or update configuration options without forking or actual YAML files. So here you look at this example of customization structure. So look at the patch.yaml that you want to deploy for staging and the replicas you want to deploy to. Is it the font is visible to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the patch.yaml, which is for the prod, and replicas you want to create for 6. So how do we do that? So here, this is the look at the extreme left customization.yaml, and here you will have the deployment file, which customization file, which will have. You can see my cursor here. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, so here you can see this whole structure has been created. So patch.yaml for the patches, you will have a patch.yaml for the prod, one for the staging and stuff like that. And then basis is LDAP. So this is like a base LDAP, the one file which you can see here, and it will deploy and it will call internal patch.yaml as per the environment. So this is the typical structure for customizations. Okay, we'll see this package structure a little bit later also, just making you comfortable with it.
So how does it know which environment is the context right now?
So here you, at the high level base LDAP, you set it up and then accordingly internal files, which is for the which environment, it automatically takes up.
Okay.
So what does a basis
Look at
file
this
contain?
one. This will be more useful for you. This is just a content. This is a full structure. So now here you have a hello world. This is customized deployment.yaml overlays directories for the production staging. So whatever the deployment you do for the, if you select the production, it will pick up those stuff, replicas underscore count and customizations.yaml. and if you pick it up staging, it will take that file. So here there's no template for each environment. There's a separate file for it.
No, I'm not able to get this part. So I can see every, under base there is customized.yaml. There is production staging environment also has a similar file. Is it the same file or it's an
No,
independent file?
it'll be different files actually. So for the production customizations.yaml will be different. For staging, the customizations one will be different, and base they'll be different. So here, basically here you have two customizations. You want to change the replicas count right here. So you will have a structure like this.
Okay, so if you have to say base, what does base contain? If you can
So
little bit
base,
elaborate.
first file, the one which you see is a deployment.yaml, which is here. That you can see this file content. This will contain deployment. It's API resources of the Kubernetes. And customization.yaml has an environment specification. If you're selecting the production, then this will be used. If you're selecting the staging, this will be used.
Okay.
Again, probably I'll show you that during the demo time.
But every time when you reference, it will be the base that you reference.
Right. Yeah. When you run the hello world
Uh-huh.
applications, then it defines and read the base reference, and accordingly they decide where you want to deploy.
So overlay can be seen as different environments or different
No,
versions.
overlay is like a fixed directory structures for the customizations. Just like here we have a templates, right? So in Kubernetes we use Kustomize we use overlay.
So they can be different versions also, right? So, or is that not a good analogy? So I can have like production and staging. Can I have version 20 and version 30?
Yeah. Those naming, those directory structures under the overlay, you can have it anything whichever. You have to specify in a customization.
Okay. So it's basically version isolation.
You can say, yeah, version isolation or environment isolations, passing the different parameter for each environment separate and maintaining it separate. This is the easy way to do that. This is one of the tool. If you let's say if you don't like Helm, then you can go for this one. Or if you don't like this one, we have a Casonet also. We have multiple tools for deploying in Kubernetes, but Helm is a more popular. Second popular is Kustomize.
Okay.
Okay. So now these are the prerequisites you should know, and I believe all of you have a fair understanding of it.
Hey, just a quick question. Sorry, Rajesh. I'm just trying to
Just give me 1 second.
understand.
Sorry, yeah. Tell me.
Hey, just before we proceed, I wanted to clarify between Helm chart and Kustomize. So Helm chart,
Just
is
a second,
it?
sorry, just a second. Some background noise coming from. Just let me clear this up. Just.
Okay.
Sorry, I think now it should be clear, I guess. Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is, I was just trying to understand analogy between Helm chart and Kustomize. So they both are independent, packaging. Is that a fair understanding?
That's correct. Both are separate tool, standalone tool, and both you can use for deploying application in Kubernetes.
Okay. And is there a mixed version also, or if you stick with the Helm chart, you should only implement Helm, or
Yes, yes. If you don't need to learn customize if you are not using that. Okay, you can use Helm also. But as Argo CD supports multiple deployment platform, including the Customize, Correlate, and Helm, and many more actually.
I think I only heard you partially.
Okay, so why I'm saying Helm and YAML or Argo CD, Customize, probably once you get into the Argo CD and see
Mhm.
that how can we deploy applications using Argo CD to
Mhm.
Kubernetes, then you probably will understand in better way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So for time being, if you understand Helm, let me put it in this way. If you understand the Kubernetes YAML file, that is also sufficient for using the Argo CD. Or if you are understanding the Helm packages, Helm chart, that is also sufficient for Argo CD. If you are using Kustomize, then also it's good for Argo CD. Any one method at least you should understand. Rest of the things you can build slowly later also.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we need to understand a little bit of Git core concepts also, GitOps core concept also, and without that, Argo CD use of Argo CD will have no context actually. So what is a GitOps? So GitOps is a operating model pattern for cloud native applications. Now, when we say cloud native applications means what? So any applications which is governed or supported by CNCF is called cloud native applications. Now, do you know CNCF, all of you?
Yeah.
Right. But what was the statement you made? Is what is called cloud native? Anything that is?
uh, any product which is
Hmm.
supported and governed by CNCF organization, that is called under cloud native applications. Cloud native applications you can consider like which is more in nature of distributed applications which you can deploy distributed, easily monitored, observability and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Third thing, it can be anything like compute, storage, networking solutions. It can be in a distributed in nature and multi-cloud platform. So it can be irrespective of where you want to run it. So that's a conceptual stuff of cloud native. The organization which is handling this initiative is called cncf.io, and Kubernetes is owned by CNCF, Prometheus is owned by CNCF, etcd is owned by CNCF, Helm is owned by CNCF, and hundreds of projects which is under graduation and graduated and under the development or supported by CNCF, that is called cloud native. So cloud native application always you use declarative to define any configuration. Declarative language. Declarative language means something like a YAML. Okay. So this is a declarative language. So earlier we had a compile language, now then interpreted language, then now we have a declarative language. So for the cloud native all application, they use certain criteria to make this cloud native application supported and stuff like that. So GitOps is an operating model pattern for cloud native application and Kubernetes storing application and declarative infrastructure code in Git as a source of truth used for automated continuous delivery. Now, probably you'll not understand this one, or maybe you have understood, but I'll put it in a simple way. Cloud native supports, as I said, declarative statement. Declarative means anything which you want to deploy in the production, I mean in the environment, you should declare it and it should be readable across any platform as such. So for example, if you want something to be there in the Kubernetes, for for the sake of Kubernetes discussion is Kubernetes. So what you do, you declare in a Git, okay? And when I say Git, it can be GitHub, it can be GitLab, it can be Bitbucket, it can be Gerrit also, any Git hosting repository. So you declare in the Git, and the tool operating model means the tool which should automatically get the reading from your desire, which is you declare in the Git, and automatically it should implement in the environment, like a Kubernetes environment. So this model is a pretty new actually, GitOps model, and this is one of the opted model to implement continuous delivery in Kubernetes, I mean cloud native infrastructure and cloud native applications world. Are you understanding now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so in simple way, earlier what we used to do, traditional model of deployment, we used to manually do all this work, but we want to automate everything. We want to, deployment we want to automate in the container world. So we are using cloud mode, GitOps concept. Now this is some of the history of GitOps. So this particular term coined in 2017 by Alexis, okay, which is a part of the Weaveworks, the Operation Pull Request blog and stuff like that. In 2018, GitOps is the best thing since configuration as a code tweet by Kelsey Hightower. It's one of the renowned principal architect. In 2018, GitOps adopted by major cloud providers, and 2020 again many groups got created, formed from the engineers, and then 2021 first GitOps conference launch, and from there we are seeing the lots of popularity on this. So there are some principles for the GitOps, okay. Some of the principles for the GitOps, and that is Git is the source of truth for entire system. That means when I say source of truth means what? What do you understand? Any one of you
Reference.
just put it some
Reference.
highlight on it. Source of truth means
Yeah, reference state.
It's just probably the single location you'll go and get the actual facts or accurate facts.
yeah,
It could be a configuration, it could be something that you put over there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In Kubernetes, which component is the source of truth?
Is it the
HCD.
etcd?
HCD, correct, 100% correct. So it's a very simple thing. Anything which is your desire, okay, that is the source of truth. Desire, where you keep it. Desire means, I'll put it in this way, you want one deployment, one services, that's your desire. So in Kubernetes, when you keep it, etcd. But in a concept of GitOps, where you should keep it, you should be keeping it in Git. Okay, that's a thing. So Git is a source of truth for the entire system. That means, in a simple way, anything you want in your Kubernetes, now you should not try to keep it in etcd through API server, through YAML, through Helm packages. No, you put it in a Git. That's all. Forget about the rest of the systems. You must forget about the rest of the system, put it in the Git, and that's your source of the truth for the entire system, what you want to see in the production. Okay. Second principle what we have.
Right. So just a comment, this one principle actually has created some disturbance in the industry. So just to explain what that means, are you conversant with CMDB,
Yes, tell
Configuration
me.
Management Database?
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rahul.
yeah. So are you conversant with CMDB was the question?
Uh, Can you please set the context? I'm not able to understand.
Right. I'm just telling you, Git, this statement in Git is the source of truth actually has created some problem in the, in the way systems are being designed today. If you're conversant with the term CMDB, you just let me know. Otherwise, I'll explain that and I'll tell
Yeah.
you what the problem is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you please explain it?
So
CMDB,
CMD,
I have heard about it,
right,
and
right,
I have worked with COB meeting actually, and this we use it a lot where you say, okay, configuration management, we do
right.
that at a certain, team meet, I mean, certain tools, and then from there we take it up as part of the CAB meetings and all. So those are the things which I'm familiar, but you can put
Right.
some more highlights on
Yes.
it.
So very quickly, not to derail the discussion. So CMDB also stores, as the name suggests, the configuration. So if we have a system that we are using, its details, including its operating system, its patch level, all
Yeah.
that details are also being stored in, including the configuration of the system by itself. What it looks like is actually being stored in CMDB today. Now,
Yeah.
when we are using GitOps, this is another repository which is the source of truth. In the past, it was only CMDB which was a source of truth. So, in the context of, let's say, a Kubernetes, the confusion that arises is, okay, I have to store it in CMDB because there are many idle processes that tie into it, and then I have that definition also stored in Git. So, which is the single source of truth is the issue which most people are facing today, because people are not ready to retire CMDB today. uh, they are not agreeable to it. Let me put it like that in simple terms. So the confusion arises: how do you keep Git and CMDB in sync?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
There
brief
is a,
comment I wanted to make.
yeah. My opinion here is probably the CMDB we are using a lot when we were doing the operations with virtual machines. Because I remember that in a CAM meeting we were discussing about all this stuff and stuff like that. But here, today's the application which we are running in a container with the Kubernetes, and this we are least care about this configurations of operating systems and stuff like that because that's managed by something else. Here we are talking about the containers, which is our applications and the state of applications, the nature of applications, configuration of applications, and so on. So in this cloud native environment, yes, that is the context. But if you're talking about that, the one CMDB probably, I'm just my opinion, is a virtualization environment. I guess more will be benefiting us.
Right. So it's a never-ending discussion. I just wanted to say that this single source of truth is now becoming a question mark now.
Yeah.
At least till we switch to one or the other completely.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We can continue.
Yeah. So here,
Okay. Rajesh, I wanted to also check with you when you said etcd is not the single source of truth and Git is the single source of truth. Um, I kind of couldn't catch you on that. So we have HCD as part of Kubernetes environment and all the applications that are hosted on Kubernetes environment and its resources connected like network, storage, all that is mapped
everything.
and stored in HCD, right?
Yeah.
Now, even when you use GitOps or Argo CD, that will continue to remain, right? Now you cannot replace
See,
HCD.
yeah, so probably I have confused you with my statement probably. So I'm not saying like etcd will not be used for the source of truth for the Kubernetes. All I said is like how do you feed? See what you do typically. You create a YAML file, and after that put it in Helm package, and then you deploy through APIs server, and then it goes stored in the etcd. This is the manual work, and that is where the we want to automate it. So here we are saying, hey, let's do one thing. Let's not do all this stuff. Let's automate all this stuff, and manually there should not be deployment as such. So manual deployment, we are stopping it through the GitOps concept. So we are saying, hey, whatever you want in a dev environment, put it in a GitOps, I mean, sorry, Git, and put it in a certain format, in form of YAML file or Git Helm packages or this one customizations and stuff like that, and then you let the tool should take and take the deployment immediately. You are not going to do kubectl apply or helm install. These two commands you are not going to run. Let it happen automatically. CD, continuous deployment. So the moment you modify something in the Git, automatically it will deploy, and through the architecture anyways, if you are deploying the Kubernetes, it will sit in etcd, right? Without that, it will not be able to.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that way, I think I'm trying to tell you.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So he desired. So these are the one more principle which we have is desired system state is version in Git, which we know that Git has a fundamental feature of versioning. System state described declaratively. Declaratively means simple, let's not complicate. YAML file, simple. Git as a single place for the operations, create, change, and delete. This you have to inform a team actually. This is a process change actually. That means if I'll put it in a simple way, if you want to deploy something, if you want to have some changes in the Kubernetes, okay, if you want to have some changes in the Kubernetes, don't do any modification as such. Just do the modification in the Git, that file, declarative file of YAML or Helm, and that's all. It's done. So that's one of the principle. Now, autonomous agent enforce a desired state and alert on drift. Now, when you say autonomous agent, that's where the Argo CD is coming into picture. This is the place. And by the way, Argo CD is not the alone tool actually. We have so many competitor with Argo CD. Argo CD is one of the options for autonomous agent, enforce desired state and alert on drift. That means some tools should be there who should read the declarative statement from Git and it should deploy in the Kubernetes for this our use cases Kubernetes. Okay, so the tool should, if that desire, if the mismatch happened between the Git and Kubernetes, then it should show you the drift. That means it should show you, okay, your environment is not in sync and something and all stuff like that. So here, autonomous agent enforces desired state and alert on drift, and this is the Argo CD we are learning. Are you able to understand?
Okay.
And automated delivery of approved system state and changes. So these are the principles of GitOps.
So automated delivery also is controlled through any approval levels and all that.
Yes, automated delivery. So every tools will have a two options, whether you want to automatically deploy this thing or you want to have some approval systems and in place. Let's say you deploy to prod, you deploy to development and QA, and prod you want some sort of approval from management. So those can be enabled in the tool system. So this is a GitOps principle. Okay. Now, which are the
So,
architect?
so sorry, just a couple of questions. One is that GitOps is only CD, is what you're saying, right?
GitOps is a CD. Yeah. CI, you
Okay.
have a Jenkins for it. Jenkins X, not Jenkins. Sorry, my bad. Jenkins X. Let me. There are multiple tools also there. I'm not talking about it, but one because it, just quickly close these your questions. So Jenkins X is the one. See here, cloud native. See, Jenkins is not a cloud native supported tool, okay? But
Hmm.
Jenkins X is a cloud native supported tool. So using that, you can also do the CI/CD completely.
Hey, this
So,
cloud native terminology has got quite a bit of adoption or different usage. Some people refer it as whichever is containerized, that is cloud native, and some people refer it to be if it is public cloud services provided by that public cloud provider, then that is cloud native. What's the actual authentic meaning of cloud native?
So
And you said if it is governed by CNCF, then it is regarded as cloud native.
see, there's a one keyword, cloud native. This is coined by this keyword itself is coined by CNCF. Okay, this is an organization. Coined by means they name this some of the concept which is called cloud native. Now, under this concept, under this principle, they're saying, okay, any application you develop, they should be having certain characteristics. I'm not getting into the much of the detail, but I'm at a high
High
level.
level, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they say, hey, we are the organization community, and from now onwards, from last 3 4 years, any product you develop, new product, not an older one, if you develop, you have to follow certain pattern. Now, let's say you want to develop one application for CNCF. So what should be pattern? Then they say, hey, first thing, it should be declarative. That means whatever you want, it should be that desire. It should not be programmatically done. It should be declaratively done. That means whatever you want to get it done in the tools, the users and users should declare it rather than programming. So declaring means easy way to declare it. So this will be YAML standard. Second thing is that application supported the distributed environment. Distributed means it should be supporting the your data center, other data center, your cloud, other cloud, your operating system, other operating systems, like that. So distributed in this way, and a few more characteristics which we have. So if you look at this here, uh, these are the projects which you have graduated means released. These are the under development. These are the under sandbox archived. They archived this contributors. Some things are there here. So you can see that community guidelines and all are there. So now if you see that how many projects which is graduated, so look at this here. etcd, the one which you are using in Kubernetes, is graduated. Remember, etcd also you can declare it and also create a clusters of it. Kubernetes also same way. Helm also declarative. Container last month only they replaced actually. So 1.23 Kubernetes, the version which you see is got which got deprecated, not deprecated. Deprecation has happened long back. Uh, they removed the default container engine from Docker to containerd. So you have to do some configurations over there also. And these are the products. Earlier they were having, see. So these are the Argo CD is here, still under the development, and we are learning this one. And so many cryo and so many products they have. Security Falco we have.
So effectively, the products or the applications that are developed in under the guidelines of CNCF is is qualified to be regarded as cloud native application,
Cloud
right?
native, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah,
So
thanks.
cloud native support also multiple projects. See, supported projects is not mentioned here, but if you go to their website, for example, Jenkins X, I think it's not there. See here, it's not there. You see that. But if you go to, just a second, my pop-up is irritating. Huh? So if you go for this, you see here, see here, cloud native CI/CD built on Kubernetes. Okay, so it's not a project of CNCF, but they have followed the guidelines of
Hmm.
CNCF and build this project. Make sense?
Okay, okay, yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah.
That
So
helps.
Rajesh, my second question was, does CD or rather GitOps have anything to do with the application code? For IAC, I think it's clear, but for application context.
Rahul, I got confused. What was your question?
So I'm just in the context of what we're talking a lot of infrastructure. We're talking about Kubernetes, right? Compute for that matter.
Yeah.
Is GitOps useful? I know one use case for the question. So let me put it first. So is GitOps applicable to application development lifecycle?
Yes,
Deployment, I would think yes, but is it?
yes. Of course, it's for the application development.
Is it development or deployment? Is it only the CD for the application also, or
Okay.
does it do CI also for that?
See, you have to implement the CI also under the GitOps. why I'm saying is you have to change the definition of CI altogether. Again, I repeat, you have to change the definition of CI in the cloud native environment. Remember that we used to study the CI in a different way, but this time you have to change that in a different way. That's the reason I said little bit of this one initially. So now CI means this one. Okay, CI means you have to automate all this flow. So this is a development has happened. Create an image, and after that, all this thing will happen automatically.
Okay. So post deployment, post development is what you're saying is applicable. So it's again, CD is a use case coming out of this also is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So let me put it in this way. As part of the CI, conceptually, you have to automated testing. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So automated testing is a part of CI, not a CD.
Hmm.
And to do the automated testing, you have to deploy also,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to use the GitOps there also.
Okay. So it's partially supported is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was discussing something. Yeah. So yeah. So this is the principle for GitOps. Now these are the components if you want to implement the GitOps. So these are the things you should be having in place, and I'm damn sure about it. You have in place. What are the things we have? So you should be having at least a source control system. We have everyone blindly. I can say each projects we have a GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket or Gerrit or AWS code commit or Azure DevOps repository. All these things we have it. So we have a source control system and we have a Git repository also. We have a containers and Helm registry. When I say containers, that means your the image, okay, and Helm registry you should be having it. At least YAML file you should be having it. At least operators. This is where our focus on. Okay, operators we are not having it, but we will get it, and that was the missing component so far. Means for automated deployment, that was a missing component. That means the moment you declare in the Git issue, it was not doing automated deployment. It was manual work, which we want to automate it. So here we have a multiple option. I said, right, Argo CD is not the only one options. We have a Flux also. Flux is a product of product of uh, CNCF. So here they remove a what? Let me see. It's not listed.
It may be image, that's why I'm not able to search.
It was there.
No, I didn't see, but it may be an image.
See. So Flux is their CNC product actually. Okay. So see here. Okay, it's under the incubating projects. Okay. So this is the Flux. So if you don't like tomorrow, if you don't like Argo CD, no problem. You can like a Git Flux. Let's say if you don't like Flux also, then you will go for C X Jenkins X. Here you have two things together: CI also, CD also together. So it's up to you which one you want. But for time being, we want to focus on Argo CD. Make sense, guys? So operators, we have Flux, Argo CD. kubectl apply, you know that you've been doing manually. So it's not a CD, it's a manual work. And multiple providers also we have, and so on. And now Terraform also has used a launch one provider, and so on. Now runtime environment, we understand that are Kubernetes clusters, and here namespaces where you run our applications, dev stage and prod environment, and namespaces we understand. So it's when we say namespaces is a Kubernetes namespaces. Okay.
Okay.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So are you comfortable with it so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
So far so good.
So Jenkins X is part of operators, right?
Operators. I mean, it's not in my slide, but it's there. It's for both CI and CD both. That means in a simple way, Jenkins X will do the CI also, and after that deploy to the Kubernetes automatically and approved ways also. All this functionality you have with the Jenkins X. By the way, if you want more advanced, more complicated, go for Cloudbees. Cloudbees, Bees, this is the one. So Cloudbees is not a Jenkins I'm talking about. Cloudbees has launched new product altogether last year, and they are offering Cloudbees CD's RO. See here. Yes, this is CD and this is the RO. So this is the two product they have launched it. It's an online. I mean, it's a hosted one. I mean, it's a SaaS based. You can use it or you can install in your product also. So multiple products we have actually in this category.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Rajesh, one last question, maybe a little distraction from what you're discussing.
Yeah.
Where does Terraform fit into this?
Okay. So
Just
see,
in this slide, basically. So is it Terraform scripts and source control in a Git repository? And
no.
then,
Okay. Probably it confused you actually. Terraform is not fitting here. What has happened? Few, I don't remember the name of the person. This person, what they did, they created a Terraform modules in a certain ways. That means you declare one file in a Terraform, and Terraform will create infrastructure also, Kubernetes also, and deploy applications also. So this is the way. It's not Terraform alone. There's a modules for that we are talking about. So Terraform uh, GitOps module, GitOps Kubernetes. So this is a new library you can say.
okay.
Okay. So it's not the one which you are thinking is a Terraform. It's a customized module has been written, and I think CubeStack we call it. They named it CubeStack. This initially this engineer developed this module. Later on, they used as a product actually. Just like Terraform, there's one more organization is very popular, which is for the writing modules. Let me name it. I forgot the name actually for those guy. Gruntworks. Remember Gruntworks?
Out of them, yeah.
Yeah. So Gruntworks, what they do, they write a code actually in Terraform and make it easier, so easier for you. Just you run one command and everything is done. And you can trust their code. It's secure, stable, and tested very heavily. You write a code, you can't test so heavily. They write a code, they will test heavily. So it's like this. And then so I was talking about something. So, yeah. So CubeStack is one of the product which is written in Terraform. Okay. So this you can use it also. See here, complete solution to design, provision, and operate your custom platform stack using Terraform. So this is also you can use this as an operator. And they
Okay.
also publish one declarative file which anyone like a Kubernetes can read it and help you to deploy. Got it?
Yeah, thanks.
So Argo CD will not configure your infrastructure, by the way. Argo CD will not do that. Hello? Are you able to
Mhm.
hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Did you
yeah.
say
Okay, I
it will
thought
not configure your infrastructure? So what does that mean? Because I'm thinking if I increase the number of worker nodes, uh, Argo CD will do the changes in the target environment, right? So is there a different way to read what you're saying?
see, when see Argo CD is for the deployment tool for
Mhm.
application, not for infrastructure orchestrations. Okay, so for example, if you have a Kubernetes cluster, okay, established, working, superb, Argo CD will work like a charm. But if you say, "Oh, hey, I have a Kubernetes 10 nodes and I want to make it two more nodes," so that is not job of the Argo CD. This is more suitable for Terraform or your auto scaling group of AWS or something like that.
Interesting.
Getting my points? It will not bootstrap the new node for you, but it will deploy whatever you want to have in your applications. I mean, in your Kubernetes, it will make it.
So you're saying it's more applicable on a existing infrastructure versus a new infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then infrastructure is again another application, right? And it again spins off with a set of few commands. So why that bifurcation?
See, if you want to work with infrastructure, then you have to use different tools for it. For example, as I said, you can use Kubernetes for it. But if you want, probably once we spend some time with Argo CD, you will understand their limitations also. So that will be more better approach, because if we
Which is that
discuss
other
right
tool?
now,
Cube Stack, is it?
yeah, is
Yeah,
with the Terraform.
this is the one he just showed right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
GitOps
So
library for Terraform, basically.
Yeah.
okay, my belief is platform is also another application. Okay,
Yeah, you are correct,
interesting.
100% correct. But let me put it in this way. I'll simplify this one in my way. See, using Java, you can write every kind of application. But why don't you write a configurations and deployment scripting using Java? Because Java is not designed for a deployment. It's like easy, not easy to read, write, troubleshoot, debug, and do that. For every tools, now we are in the world of DSL, domain specific language. So you have one simple work for that. There are different tools for it. So like that.
Mhm,
So now here Argo CD is only solving the one problem, the one which you are doing manually, the deploying the manually, and there you are making some mistakes. That what they are saying, hey, let's do one thing, let's automate this one also in a Kubernetes in container world, and that's a focus area for the Argo CD. Okay, now let's say you say, okay, using Argo CD, I will configure and bootstrap the new machines from the cloud. See, theoretically, you can do that. You can call some script and do that stuff. It's all about the API call, right? You call through API and then do that. But fundamentally, it's not designed for it.
mhm. Okay, thanks.
So it's like that. Okay,
Mhm.
so I think we are comfortable with this slide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So use cases for GitOps, yes. So please, this is the use cases for it. Cloud native app management, we have discussed multiple times cloud native word, and ICD in CI/CD. So this is basically cloud. Here you can manage the CD in CI/CD. Service rollout and infrastructure management using the Kubernetes clusters, fleets, and microservices. GitOps operator. Okay, so this is the operator. And by the way, this is not a complete list. 4, 5 more is there, but it's missing from this list because too much of tools nowadays is being introduced and we get confused all the time. So one of the popular one is Flux. Now, why this popular one, Flux? Because Flux is itself is a CNCF product. So it has a lots of integration built in with the Kubernetes. So same, they are coming from the same ecosystem, right? Now, Argo CD is the second one which we are going to learn, and Kubestack is the third, Jenkins Stack, Atlassian, and few more are there. For example, CloudBees also I showed you, which has a more features than this. So these are the operators for the GitOps. Now, coming back to the Argo CD. So, I believe all of the essentials, fundamental things which we need to know, I think we are comfortable. We know Kubernetes, we know Docker, you know container, you know, uh, Kubernetes. By the way, from I think we need to forget the Docker, I guess, because now we'll have to take this container. It's like a container D because got deprecated and they're leaving, Kubernetes is leaving the Docker altogether. Though its support is there, but not the default container engine. So that you please remember that. And we know Kubernetes.
Hello everyone, if you would like to access the remaining videos of this playlist of 50 plus more tools which are coming under DevOps, DevSecOps, SRE, DataOps, GitOps, etc. Kindly become our channel members by clicking on the joining button. You would have access to hundreds of playlists and thousands of videos lifetime access with this membership. Enjoy.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.